Hi, everybody. My name is Howard Sample, and I'm the director of the Life Crafting Program. It's great to be with you all today. As I promised, I'm going to be presenting a little bit today on the subject of resolving your short term financial needs. There are a lot of people today who are in that situation where they really need short term cash flow. You may be in between the job, the corporate job, with the career you've had in the past, working perhaps in corporate America, and you're wanting to move to a more entrepreneurial life path, but you are not really sure of all the steps that are involved, and you're not yet at a place where you're making money in your ideal business. You need something in between, kind of a bridge between your old traditional career and where you want to be ultimately doing what you love, making money doing what you love. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some extraordinary tools and new perspectives that you can use in this vein. Okay, we're going to cover two types of situations today. One of them is going to be where you're in a career life transition and you're wanting to move into an entrepreneurial direction, but you're not there yet. How can you start really making money with your existing skills, experience, talents, all the things that you've spent many, many years developing? So that's one scenario we're going to look at. And the second scenario we're going to look at is you already have a business of some kind or other, whether it's your ultimate business or not, but you have a business and you want to increase your clients or customers and your cash flow in your existing business. And we're going to cover that also near the end. So let's first of all look at what is the nature of this problem. Well, for most people who've been employees all their lives, if you're in that situation, you're probably in a certain kind of mindset. And we call that the employee mindset. The employee mindset is very, very prone to thinking along the lines of resumes and job interviews. However, if you've been in the job market, for any amount of time, you know that nowadays that can be a very, very long term and very arduous and frustrating process for many, many reasons. One of the reasons is that there are usually 100 candidates for every job opening. The process of interviewing could take forever. You're never really assured of getting called in for an interview. People have a tendency to get obsessed with their resume and trying to revise it 100 times, when in fact the resume is really a horrible document to begin with and not an effective marketing tool to start with. So the long and short of it is that this path of trying to get a short-term job, just using the same old methods that you've always used before, is in most cases a recipe for disaster. And in the worst and the best case, it's a long delay and a very frustrating road ahead. So, what is the solution here? What is the alternative that you could be doing? Well, in life crafting, we have a system, a whole complete system. It's actually contained within this ebook that I created several years ago called the Cash Flow Toolkit. And basically, what we teach you in this model is we teach you how to tap into what we call the free agent economy. What is the free agent economy? Well, I'm sure you know by now that the internet and the world today is this vast, massive marketplace where there are people all over the map, all over the world, with countless numbers of skills, talents, abilities, and who are oftentimes network and make connections with companies, with individuals to do projects, to do freelancing, to solve a problem. Like, for example, virtual assistants would be one great example, where people in the Philippines who are reasonably good and intelligent can work with people in North America. So the bottom line is that there are opportunities everywhere. Everywhere you look, there are opportunities abounding. But if you don't know how to tap into that marketplace and you're still in your mind thinking along the same old idea of resume and cover letters and interviews, you're going to miss that. You're not going to see that. So think of it this way. There are 17-year-old kids that are in Boston who are really good with internet skills, who are connecting up with, say, for example, a company in Chicago or San Diego, and they find out that lo and behold, this company has some need for some work that they know how to do. It could be routine or it could be technical or it could be whatever. And they just pitch them and say, hey, I hear you have this problem, and I'm sure that I can help you. Let's work out a deal. Let's see what we can do. And before you know it, an agreement is reached. And now this person is doing a freelance project with this one company using one particular skill that they learned. Who knows? They could have learned it in high school, they could have learned it anywhere. And now this young kid, 17 years old, is making money, actually making money, right? They're doing something, making money. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, you're 47 or 53, you have an advanced degrees in engineering, you have an MBA, you've worked in corporate America for 20, 15, 20 years, right? You made 150K a year, but now you're unemployed and you can't find any work and you don't know what to do, right? So I'm trying to characterize this dichotomy, this vast dichotomy between these two worlds. And by simply opening up to the free agent economy, by using the free agent mindset, all these incredible opportunities can open up for you where you can use the vast skills, talents, experience that you have and you've developed over the years. So to facilitate this process and help you with this comparison, I'm going to upload just in a little while after my our chat today, I'm going to upload a chart, a document, and it's going to have two columns, and it's going to compare the employee mindset and the free agent mindset. And you're going to be able to see item by item what the radical difference is in thinking and what the radical difference is in strategy from one to the other. This is going to help you get started thinking in a new way. And of course, that's always the first step in any kind of change is mindset and strategy. Mindset, strategy, how you think about it and how you think about yourself. Of course, that's really the key. Now, I want to talk about the next thing here, which is the next big shift in this paradigm, and that has to do with the perception of value. Most in people who've been employees all their lives, they don't really know their value in the marketplace. Why is that? Because they've been indoctrinated for years and years and years that all you really are as an employee is somebody who follows instructions, does what you're told, and you're paid for the tasks you perform, for the work you do. You don't perceive yourself as being paid for your actual value because your value remains unknown. And so the key thing for you in this transition process is to actually discover your value. This is no small potatoes. For most people, it's a huge mind shift. It's some huge mindset change, but it's doable. It's doable. In our ebook and in our programs that you're going to be learning about will help you to make this shift. It's about really understanding the problems that you're really good at solving, how you solve them, how you've learned to solve them, your unique approaches to solving them. And then most importantly, how do you present yourself in a really effective and compelling way to people who care, to people who are interested in knowing this, for people who are well connected, people who have the authority and the potential to hire you or to refer you to people where there are projects that you could be working on. So we all know that there are consultants out there everywhere making very good money. They're independent contractors. There's freelancers everywhere. But there's a perception that, oh, well, this is difficult to do. And the truth is that it's not. There are people leaving corporate jobs and being rehired by the exact same companies for twice the amount of money that they were paid when they were employees, as astounding as that may be. Okay, uh, so you're going to learn how to take this critical step of really determining your value. So the next question you might be asking is, well, that's all well and good, but if I'm not going to use a resume, how am I going to help people? How am I going to get people to understand who I am and what my unique gifts and talents are and abilities are? How am I going to convey my experience? And the answer to that is a tool that we use and that you can learn, which is called the letter of introduction. The letter of introduction is, when done skillfully, is an extraordinary marketing tool. And it's a vehicle whereby you can show up in a very personal way. You can represent not in the dry, boring manner in which you do on a resume. It's where you can be alive, you can be sincere, you can be, authentic, you can be true to who you are, and then you can, in a very, very cogent manner, hit the bullet points of what you've done, what projects you work on, and be very, very clear in that you're not looking for a job. You're looking for a project or freelance opportunity to solve a problem. Changing your mindset from employee to a problem solver is essential in this game. And of course, needless to say, writing this letter of introduction will take a little bit of learning. Now, we have templates that will help you. So you're not starting from scratch. We've already worked these things out. You can use templates, you can customize them. And if you like, you can even get support from us. We'll help you refine it, we'll help you develop it. So it's optimal. Okay, let's fast forward again now. Let's say you know your value in the marketplace. You shifted gears to being a problem solver. You know your absolute optimum role that you can play. You've written your compelling, powerful letter of introduction, and you also now have defined your target market, so you know who it is that needs to see this. Now we come in to something like LinkedIn, where you can now start to network and make contacts along the lines of who needs to know you and you need to know them. Once you start to make these connections, you can simply send them your letter of introduction. You can even put the letter of introduction on a web page, and then if you like, send people a link to it if you want, or you can just do a simple PDF document, whichever's convenient for you. The important point here is that you're building relationships. Once again, it's a skill that is common and familiar to entrepreneurs, but less common for employees who don't think along the lines of relationship building. So, but you can shift that and you can learn how to do that. We have many, many tools and many ways of doing this. Now, what's obviously going to be important to you in all of this is your support system. You're going to need to have friends who give you encouragement, who give you feedback, who give you support, and hopefully even some kind of means of being accountable, setting targets, setting goals, making promises, and being accountable to results. We have that as well in Life Crafting. We have a program that includes all those things. But if you want to go and do this on your own, that's fine. Just be aware that structure is going to be important. You're not going to be able to do this all by yourself. You're going to need to have some kind of feedback mechanism, something truing you up that's helping you build confidence, that's giving you critical feedback so you can make adjustments along the way. And even on your letter of introduction, you want to get you want to get feedback and you want to refine it and improve it on an ongoing basis. Okay, so hopefully this will get you started. This will help you get started. I want to really encourage you to post comments on this post, in the group. There are no question that's there's no silly question, no stupid question. Every question is good. You want to ask wherever you are, and I will help you adapt these kinds of tools and concepts to whatever your situation is. So you're okay there. Now, the other thing I'm going to do here to help you out is I'm going to post in a comment a link to an article I wrote, which is on LinkedIn. So on my LinkedIn profile, and it's a really powerful article. And the title is, Are You Highly Marketable Yet Unemployable? And if you may resonate with that idea, as many people nowadays do, because they realize that you've learned so much in all the years of your professional life, but on the other hand, corporations are not always interested in paying high salaries, for people who have these gifts. Many corporations would much rather, you know, let you go and hire a 25-year-old for one, third or one quarter of your salary, and not even care that the quality of their work is going to be greatly inferior. I'm sure the politics and the priorities of how many companies work. Um, anyways, that article is going to shed light on this phenomenon. It's going to show you a reality that it's kind of already there, and it's in some ways it's kind of evident, but sometimes you have to see it like right in front of your nose to recognize what is really going on. There's a great number of people today who are in fact highly marketable and unemployable, for these and other reasons. So whatever your situation is, whatever it may be, I want to encourage you to post a comment and let us know where you are, what you need. I can assure you, if I can't help you, if my team can't help you in some way, we'll refer you to somebody else who has more of a specific expertise that's going to be a match for you. But above all, do not be a lone ranger. Do not try to do this all alone by yourself and try to figure this stuff out, because it's very, very difficult to do so. You're going to want to build a network. You may already have one, but you want to build a network that is geared towards your goal and geared towards your immediate objective. One last thing I want to include on this topic is that we make a very strong separation in life crafting between short-term cash flow and long-term career and life fulfillment. We call the short-term your taxi job, and we call the long-term your career playground. It's a little bit like the Maslow hierarchy of needs. You need to be able to pay the bills and get beyond your anxiety with money in order to soar, in order to tap into your highest creative energy and craft your genius life, to craft your ideal life and your ideal business. We support you in every step of the process in life crafting, wherever you happen to be. Now, I want to move over to the other topic that I promised at the beginning, which is the scenario where you have an already existing business and you simply want to get more clients or customers and increase your cash flow there, okay? So if you are in this situation, and I know many of our members in our group are in this situation, I'm going to give you a series of tips, a series of very critical and important steps, some of which you may not have completed. And once again, I want to encourage you, wherever you are in this process, go ahead and post a comment or do a post of your own and let us know where are you? What kind of business are you in? Where are you stuck in generating the cash flow that you need. First step in this is what we call alignment to your purpose. If you're in a business that's just a business to make money and you're not particularly passionate about it or committed to it, it's going to be difficult for you to move forward and to market that business because everything ultimately depends on where you are in your heart and your soul, emotionally, and your level of commitment to what you're doing, because people can read that, they can sense that. So if you are doing a business which is a short-term venture to make money now, there is really no harm in that. That's fine, but be honest with yourself at least to recognize that it's more of a taxi job type business and not your ultimate your ultimate business, your ultimate life expression. Okay, next item here. Um, you need to identify your ideal client or customer, what we sometimes call your avatar. Who is this person that you're targeting? And next, what is the problem that you are most helping this person solve? No matter what product or service you're offering, there is always a problem you're helping people solve. And it's critical to view your business and to view your services from the problem solution vantage point. Okay, and if you're not sure what the problem is, or you're not sure how to formulate the wording of the problem, once again, we can help you with that. Just tell us how far you've come with the wording, and we'll brainstorm with you to get it more refined. But you need to have the clarity. Now, regarding the solution that you're offering, what is the solution you're offering, and what happens to your clients when they apply your solution? So this is the place where you want to identify some of your success stories and what your best clients tell you that they have gained from working with you. Whether you get a testimonial or not, you want to identify the most typical results that you see. So then you can generally describe problem solution. This is where people come in. This is where their difficulty is. I work with them in this particular way, doing these things. And then they wind up in the end with this result, and they're ecstatic and happy and thrilled. So you just that sort of a thing. Okay. You need to have a very clear cut, before and after snapshot of that is. And of course, your testimonials. Next question is, where are your prospects? If you know what your ideal client is, you know what your ideal client, you know what your ideal prospect is. Where are they? What groups on Facebook do they hang out? Where are they on LinkedIn? Where they're just describing them. Get as much data, demographics, and other detail on them. The more you know your target customer, the easier it's going to be to find them. And if you do a little brainstorming with people who have done business or marketing, you're going to find that most people in brainstorming will be able to help you locate or identify or get close to your ideal client or customer. Lastly, you need to target conversations rather than saying, okay, I want to make, you can have a goal of X number of dollars a month you want to make, that's fine. But I think it's going to be easier in the short term to target meaningful conversations with prospective clients. So for example, if you had a target of say 5 meaningful conversations per week with distinct individuals that were good candidates with good prospects, that they fit the criteria of who you're looking for, and you had 5 meaningful conversations per week, I think you would agree that even if you were only minimally good or moderately good at enrollment or sales, you would probably get some signups by the sheer fact of, numbers, right? Numbers and people finding you and you're good at what you do. But then, of course, you can increase your skills and you can become better at enrollment, which is another thing that's a learnable skill. Okay. The bottom line is conversations is your magical formula. You want to have consistent, repeatable conversations with people in your market niche and discover, not just convince people. You don't want to convince, you want to discover what people are really needing, what people are really looking for, what is their frustration and their pain, and how can you sincerely help them. And once you do that, there are going to be people coming forth who want to work with you. Again, we can help you with all of these things, but we have to hear from you. Uh, in order for us to get into dialogue and determine what it is you need. Now, the good news I want to announce is that in the not too distant future, we're going to be implementing some new, very affordable courses in life crafting that will uh, cover all this ground that we've been discussing today. We already have programs, so you don't have to wait for that. If you're serious, speak to me and we can help you right away. But we're also going to be adding some simple entry level programs in the not too distant future for people who are really just needing to get started. And that's really, can only afford a small amount, but you want to get started with these tools and learn them and apply them. And we're going to be having those. So, very, very important. If you feel like, yes, I want to learn this, post a comment here or send me a PM, whatever it is, so that we can find out exactly where you are. And the likelihood is that regardless what it is, we're going to have a place where you can begin. Remember also to look in the comments below this post for those items I mentioned, for the chart and for the link to the LinkedIn article. I will post them shortly below. I'm very excited about helping you move forward on this path. Wherever you happen to be right now, uh, this is an opportunity to be engaged, to be involved, not stay on the sidelines watching and looking and hoping and commiserating with your friends about the things that aren't happening. This is a time to step up, to be responsible, be in source energy, committed to results, and work in partnership with us. I'm always here for you, always happy to help. I just need to hear from you. So have a fantastic day. This recording will be up for a while. Watch it, share it with your friends, bring other people into our group so we can grow, and look forward to hearing from you and working with you in the near future.